Hello everyone, today I am going to talk about the book Me Before You by Jojo Moyes. I will explain the story from the beginning until page 92 in a simple and clear way. The book begins with Will Trainer. He was a successful man who lived an existing life. He had a good job, he traveled a lot, he loved extreme sports, and he enjoyed every part of his freedom. He liked adventures, he liked challenge, and he always wanted to try new things. But one rainy morning, everything changed. Will left his apartment and tried to cross the street. He was distracted by his phone, and suddenly a motorcycle hit him. After his accident, Will became quadriplegic. He could not move his arms or legs, and his entire lifestyle was destroyed. His world became small, slowed, and full of limits. Later, the story introduced Louisa Clark, or Lou. She is very different from Will. She is cheerful, kind, active, and full of personality, but she does not have big dreams. She has lived in the same small town all her life. She worked for many years in a local coffee that she loved because it was simple and comfortable for her. But one day the coffee closed and she lost her job. This caused a huge problem because her family depended on her salary. Her father did not have a stable job. Her sister Trina studied and worked part-time, and her grandfather was sick. Lou needed money urgently. Lou tried many different jobs. She went to job interviews at the job center, but none of them were good for her. Some were dangerous, some were unpleasant, and some paid very little. She felt frustrated and insecure because she didn't know what to do with her life. Finally, she received a new opportunity, a job at the trainer house. The position was to work as a companion for Will Trainer. She wasn't going to be a nurse, but someone who spent time with him during the day. Lou felt nervous because she had no experience with disabled people, but she accepted the interview because she needed the job. When Lou arrived at the trainer house, she felt out of place. The house was big, elegant, and very different from her own small home. She met Mr. Trainer, Will's mother, who was serious, strict, and a bit distant. During the interview, Lou felt uncomfortable. Her clothes didn't fit well. She didn't know the answers to many questions, and she worried she was making a bad impression. But surprisingly, Mr. Trainer offered her the job. Lou discovered that the contract was for 6 months, but she didn't understand why. Still, she accepted immediately because the salary was good and her family needed money. When Lou met Will for the first time, the experience was very difficult. Will was cold, angry, sarcastic, and clearly unhappy. He didn't want Lou in his house. He didn't want anyone trying to cheer him up. Lou tried to be kind, but Will ignored her and made rude comments. She felt hard, but she decided not to give up. As the days passed, Lou tried to talk to him, prepare his meals, and keep him company. Even if they didn't respond, she wanted to show him and that she cared, even if they pushed her away. During her early weeks, Lou learned a lot about Will's life before the accident. She looked at his photos, his old belongings, and the certificates on his walls. She realized how active he used to be and how painful it must be for him to live trapped inside a body that didn't work. Lou started to understand his anger and sadness. At the same time, she also learned more about his medical condition by observing Nathan, the nurse who helped Will with his daily care. She saw how much pain Will felt and how hard it was for him to depend on everyone else. Little by little, sometimes started to change. Will didn't become friendly, but he became a little less distant. Sometimes he listened to Lou's stories, and sometimes he even made a small joke. One day he smiled for a moment, and Lou felt proud of herself. She believed that maybe she could help him enjoy life again. These small moments gave her hope. At home, Lou families keep asking her about the job. They tested her and made jokes, but Lou felt protective of Will. She didn't tell them everything because she didn't want them to make fun of him. Instead, she kept many things to herself and tried deeping about her new responsibility. She realized that she was starting to care about Will even when he made things difficult. Around page 92, something very important happened. Lou accidentally overheard a private conversation between Mr. and Mrs. Trainer. They were talking about Will's future and his secret decision to choose assisted suicide in Switzerland. They said that Will had given them 6 months before he would end his life. Lou felt shocked, heartbroken, and scared. She finally understood why her contract was only up for 6 months. Will didn't believe life was worth living anymore. At that moment, Lou made a personal decision. He didn't want to lose him. She didn't want Will to feel that his life had no meaning. She wanted to help him see joy again. Lou promised herself that she would try everything she could to change his mind. She wanted to show him that life still moments were living, and she wanted to be part of that chance. And that is the story from the beginning of the book up to page 92. Thank you for listening.